Farmers today are facing rising costs, volatile markets, and extreme weather. The A Better Way to Farm podcast digs into strategies to help you take control of farm inputs and maximize profit so your farm can thrive for generations. Remember to take advantage of our free resources at abetterwaytofarm.com. Now, from America's Heartland, here's your host.
Have you ever looked at your neighbor's soybeans and went, wow, those are really yellow? Because, of course, we would never have beans that yellow flash, but our neighbors, they fight that, right? Hey, Rod here at A Better Way to Farm, where we increase yields and improve profits. How to beat yellow flash. That is something that we've been working on for a long, long time. I remember specifically driving across Highway 2 when I got a call from a gentleman who worked for Midwest Labs, and he said, hey, I just got off the phone with a professor at the University of Purdue. You're the first person I'm calling to tell you they've figured out that using glyphosate can induce a yellow flash in soybeans. They also figured out that a product that we have will reduce that yellow flash. Will it prevent it? I'm not going to say that because prevention is kind of hard to nail down. But will it reduce it? Absolutely, because we know in side-by-side trials that it does reduce it. We know from side-by-side trials over and over again that it will increase yield. The professor at Purdue said preventing this yellow flash, or reducing it would be more accurate, the reducing of the yellow flash is somewhere between 2 and 15 bushels in your favor. Guys, that's a significant return for a $7 or $8 investment. Where else can I invest $8 and get somewhere between 2 bushel and 15 bushel of soybeans? I'm not sure, but this is something that we know. And I'm reminded back a few years ago, we were hosting a big national field day, and I went and we had prepped on the plot, and our whole family worked a really long time on it, and it looked fantastic. But we had a few weeds coming, so we wanted it to be clean as a pin when we came back to have 200 top growers from all over the United States we'd invited in come, and we just wanted to have it be perfect, you know? And so I left the right amount of manganese in the corner of a shop building. And we pulled in the day before our field day, and our soybeans literally looked like the yellow that's on the hood of a John Deere tractor on the decal. And of course, I was not very happy. I set my son up. I said, hey, go check out and tell me what's in the southeast corner of that shop building. He came back and he said, Dad, there's 5 gallons of manganese there. And I immediately called the people who sprayed it, and I said, we got a little problem here. Our beans are yellow. And so they came out and they did all the things that I just love for a agronomist to do. They came out and they pulled down into the ditch because they wanted to really show me how much they cared and what a big hurry they were. Left the door open on their pickup. They made a big circle out through the beans. They came back and they said, hey, yeah, they yellow flashed a little bit. And then it's that line that they teach those people to say. He reached out to put his arm around me. And I was like, don't touch me because I know what you're going to say. But go ahead and say it. He goes, what do you mean? I said, I know what you're going to say. He said, yeah, they yellow flashed, but they'll grow out of it. Guys, I hate that phrase. When someone tells you, yeah, but it's okay because it's going to grow out of it, that's not the right quote. I know it's going to grow out of it. The soybeans don't stay yellow forever. They get the green back. The question isn't, will it grow out of it? The question is, what did it cost me? And according to the professor at Purdue, it cost me between 2 and 15 bushel to the acre. Guys, that's a significant beating. 15 bushel to the acre right now is what, about $180? And we could do better for a $6 or $7 investment. These personal stories that we have, and we have them, we could share them all day long of growers who've experienced similar things. And it isn't something where you have to make a special trip. It isn't something where you have to go out here and do some magnificent voodoo to make it work. It isn't something that's just theory. This is something that we can put you on the phone with people who have done this over and over and over again. And applying that manganese in a co-application with that glyphosate pays us dividends. The fact of the matter is, as we look at the soil test across America today, there are more and more and more people needing more and more manganese just to get the crop to grow right. We looked at tests this year where people needed 6 or 8 pints of manganese throughout the growing season. And guys, that's a significant investment, and I get that. But if we can do some steps, it's easier to prevent that than it is to fix it. So why not do what we need to do to help stem that tide? And we can do that so easily with a co-application. As we start looking at all the things that we do, and it's going to be spraying time here before long. I'm staring across the road at a a field of corn, and it's probably about time for them to get back in. And right over here, we've got a field of beans that have just come up and they've just emerged. And, oh, they look so good. And it's fantastic to see them coming up and emerging and doing all the cool things. I took my grandsons out the other day. We were digging some plants, showing them how having more roots than we have shoots is really, really important. But guys, when we come back to the bottom line here is the big, we get a buzzword in agriculture. We have these buzzwords that are really big. Like for a while, it was all soil health. That's all I could read. And then they changed that and they got tired of saying soil health. They went to regenerative ag. And I'm all for soil health. We've been for soil health for 33 years. We've been for regenerative ag for my whole career. That's what we've been working on. We didn't talk about it like that, but that's what we were doing. And as we look at these things right now, I swear to goodness that I hear the word stress mitigation 10 times a day. If you're on any social media at all, if you're reading any magazines, if you're looking any place, it's all about stress mitigation. And guys, I'm just going to share briefly with you our take on that. We're all for stress mitigation. We are. And that's what we've been doing for 33 years. Why? Because the bottom line is this. We're only doing one of two things when we're farming. We're creating stress or we're mitigating stress. And if we're doing everything correctly, then we're mitigating stress. What do I mean? I mean that I talked last night about boron. Using proper boron improves the P and the K uptake. We know that. We know that using proper boron will help your mycorrhiza flourish. We know that that's a stress mitigator when we do that. We know we better utilize water in that circumstance. Why? Because when we get more potassium in the plant, we utilize water better. That's just a fact. And so those are stress mitigators. What's a big stress mitigator? When we're spraying glyphosate and we stress that plant, do we kill it? No. It just turns yellow. Let me ask you something. Did you ever have the flu? Probably. Did you feel very productive for that 3 days or 5 days or 7 days? No. That's what happens when that soybean turns yellow. It's like he has the flu. So he just takes 3 days, 5 days, or 7 days and doesn't do anything. He doesn't grow. He doesn't work on reproduction. He just sits there because he feels bad. You want to stress mitigate? How are we going to mitigate that stress? It's easy. If we're spraying the glyphosate, we co-apply the manganese. And guys, here's a little clue for you, just a little hint. If the manganese you're applying is not 100% chelated, don't do it. Because glyphosate will tie up with unchelated manganese, and it will render the manganese ineffective, and the manganese will render the glyphosate ineffective. And you end up getting some yellow flash and not getting a good weed kill. So we want to encourage you, let's mitigate the stress. Let's do the right thing. Let's go for soil health. Let's feed the microbes that we need to feed. And let's go out here, guys, this year. And if we can pick up 2 bushel to 15 bushel, how's that going to change? What will it be like when you harvest next fall and say you only got an extra 7 bushel because you did this? 7 bushel times $12, that's $84. $84 an acre times the number of acres you have in soybeans. I've had worse days. So let's talk about it. If you want some information on this, reach out. Just reach out. Someone from the team will get a hold of you. We'd be happy to talk about it. Guys, we appreciate you tuning in. And as always, we hope you're having a better day.